Hello again, interns. This is our day one lesson that you can find on our lesson plans. So, day one, we will be reading pages 1 through 5, stopping at the types of assessment tools. We'll continue that for day two. And we're going to complete a sample student interview form, which I have an example of here with some sentence stems to help you guys. And then, of course, complete that daily employability log of helping out around the house with any chores that we have learned from the hotel. So make sure you complete that log as well, as I went over in my previous intro and overview video. So for today, we're going to start here with a Teen's Guide to Finding a Job, Chapter 1. So everyone, please go ahead and join me. Page 1, this is our self-assessment tool chapter, and our character in this chapter is Sophia. So I'm beginning to read here on page 2, if you'd like to follow along. Sophia is a 17-year-old senior in high school who has 2 younger siblings she takes care of after school. Her mother, a single parent, juggles 2 jobs to support the family. Sophia picks up her siblings from school, her younger brothers and sisters. She prepares dinner, she helps them with their homework, and she finds time to get her own homework done too. Sophia's ultimate career goal is to become a pharmacist. That's a person who helps us get medications that we need. She knows the importance of making good grades in math, science, and biology, but is unsure about how to map out a career path to actually become a pharmacist. Currently, Sophia is struggling in chemistry and knows she needs a tutor. She discussed her concerns to her chemistry teacher. They both agreed she needed a tutor. So that's great. We always learn about how when we see that we're struggling to ask for help. So here we have Sophia here asking her teacher for help. They both agree she needs a tutor, taking into account her after-school responsibilities. Because Sophia asked for help and was not afraid to admit she needed it, her teacher agreed to tutor her during her lunch hour. Sophia wants to be a good example for her brothers and sisters and not struggle like her mom does as an adult. She's always thinking of ways to make things better. She visited the school guidance counselor to talk about her dream of becoming a pharmacist. The guidance counselor suggested she take a self-assessment tool to get a better understanding of her likes and dislikes, and to learn how she might react to certain situations. The counselor understood the value of Sophia knowing those things. She knew it would help her map out a career path to achieve her ultimate career goal. Also, Sophia and the counselor discussed the need for Sophia to make money while working on advancing her education after graduation. They both agreed that the results of the self-assessment will also provide employment options for Sophia to explore. Options that will get her steps closer to becoming a pharmacist. As well, she can identify other employment opportunities in the healthcare field while pursuing her education. Sophia quickly learned the value of a self-assessment and how it can help her map out a career plan. Overview. What's the first thing to do? You can begin by taking a self-assessment to inventory your skills, talents, interests, knowledge, abilities, work values, and personal traits. It will increase your awareness of the skills you already use at home, in school, and the community. Ultimately, it helps you match yourself to a job or career most suitable for your personality. I'm going to pause here because we have talked about this before, and we have taken some self-assessments in our training room at the hotel. And again, the purpose of these tools is for you to identify and reflect, things you're really good at and areas that we need help with. And the more we can identify these areas, the better we can match ourselves with jobs that will help us. Knowing who you are, I'm continuing here on page 3 in the middle. Knowing who you are and how you fit into the work world will help you select a rewarding job and career. Plus, a self-assessment will prevent you from making choices based on someone else's values or expectations. Sometimes we pick jobs because maybe our friend wants to work somewhere and we think, oh, we can do that too. But we really need to stop worrying about what others want us to do and start figuring out what your skills are, what your likes and dislikes are, and your work preferences. So again, it's very important so you can find a job that's going to make you happy and stick with it. Continuing here on page 3. Some self-assessment tools may simply require answering a series of questions, requiring no right or wrong answers. Your scores are based on a pattern of answers that emerges, not your answer to any particular question. So again, as we take these self-assessment tools, especially the one today, all you're doing is just being honest with your answers, because the more honest you are, the better you can be self-aware of your likes and dislikes. Your choice of answer should reflect what you actually do and feel, so be honest. There is no way you can fail, so there's no wrong answers. Most important, self-assessment results will provide you with options to explore. They'll reveal information about you that you're probably not aware of or haven't valued before or thought about before. Oh, I lost my place. Okay. At the bottom of page 2. When applied properly, the information you get from your assessment can play a major role in helping you find a job or career path that's right for you. What's most important of all, realizing what you feel passionate about and what services you have to offer. Because again, we want you to have a job that you're going to be happy with and stick with. Now I'm on page 4, what self-assessments can do. A self-assessment helps by highlighting and connecting abilities you may not have seen as a source of employment or entrepreneurship. That means working for yourself. For example, some of your hobbies and talents may very well define the area you're best suited to pursue a job or career. So those hobbies and those talents that you have, think about those and think about how those can shine through a possible job someday. Because when we are allowed to let those strengths shine, the happier and confident we are in these jobs. Continue on page 4, second paragraph. A self-assessment also encourages self-exploration and self-awareness. Finding a job or career that is right for your personality will make you happy, fulfilled, and satisfied with your career choices. Why are most people unhappy with their jobs? Have you heard anyone complain about their jobs? Yes, it happens. So that's again why these self-assessment tools are important. Often they've taken the wrong turn due to a lack of preparation or self-knowledge. They find themselves in jobs or careers that don't fit their personality, which may cause them to feel unhappy and even sometimes depressed. That's why it's important to use a self-assessment. You want to identify your likes and dislikes, your strengths and weaknesses. It will also give you a fairly accurate picture of how you relate to and interact with others. This information is very important in pointing to jobs in various work environments. In addition, it compares your likes and dislikes to those people who are successfully working in occupations you may consider. What happens when you have similar interests to people successfully employed in a career field? Research has shown you'll gain satisfaction from working in that field as well. So I'm going to pause here. So again, we've talked about before in self-assessments how we need to identify our strengths and our areas of need. I know we all have different passions and different ideas of careers that we want, and I think that's great. But what we really need to start thinking about is, if I'm considering a job at the hotel, do I have, those same abilities that the other people, the other coworkers I'm working with? Am I happy in this job? Do I like working with others? Am I okay working in loud environments? Do I want to work on my own or always communicating with guests and other people? So those are the things, we've been talking about already that, this is also relating to. What self-assessments cannot do? We haven't really talked about this. So this is what Sorry, my screen's going blank there. Okay. So we haven't talked really about this before, but self-assessments are used for a specific purpose, and this is, what they're not doing or can't do. A self-assessment can't tell you what you are going to be. We want that answer, right? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? A self-assessment can't give you that big answer. That's more of a journey that you're on your way to finding. It can only provide you with information about careers best suited to you. After all, you know yourself better than anyone. To ensure you have a broader perspective or better idea, consult a trusted adult, like me, your parents, a coach, or a mentor, to gain feedback. They will most likely see potential in you that you've overlooked. Compare the assessment results to what you know about yourself and what others have shared with you. For example, you may have strong math skills, and your self-assessment results suggest you should become a mathematician and work with numbers. However, you know you like working with people more than strictly numbers. That's a clue for you to explore your career options. You'll look for those jobs or careers that allow you to work with people while still using your math skills. View your assessment results as an eye-opener to give you choices you can explore. These are not hard, fast answers about who you will become. Only after completing your research should you begin making those career choices. So I know a lot of us we're going to stop there on the book for today. So I know a lot of us already have ideas on, different jobs we want to explore and different jobs we want to do. Some of us even at the Embassy Suites Hotel. So this is just going to kind of continue that, make sure, that if you're being offered a job, that it is a good fit for you and that you are going to be happy in that role that you're being hired for. So now we are going to move on to our assignment for today, which is completing the sample student interview form. So this is a pretty long form. I have some sentence stems for the front page. I think this is kind of a lot to do. So I write big. I know some of you do too. So feel free, if you have some other paper around, you can write your answers on that as well. But this is the student, so make sure you have the sample student interview form. As you can see here, apologize for my handwriting, I've written some sentence stems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up closer to the camera. You're not going to be able to see me, but you'll still be able to hear me. And this is a great time to use that pause feature on your video in case you need the video to pause so you can copy some of these sentence stems. And again, it doesn't have to be, I found when I was writing on here, I didn't have a lot of room. So again, feel free to use an extra sheet of paper to answer these questions. But I'm going to go through these so you kind of get an understanding of what each one are asking for. So let me make sure you can see it. Okay, cool. So, so the directions are interview the student and record their responses. So I'm interviewing you right now. So here we go. Our first section is attitude towards disability. We've talked about disability disclosure, and we've talked about how this question is not really asking for your specific disability, but just really areas of need that you need help with. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can write that down. So, sorry, it's hard for me to read it okay, here we go. Sorry, I'll try to hold it straight. Okay, so tell me about your disability. So the sentence stem I've written here is, I have needs in the area of. This could be communication, math, counting money, interacting with others, social skills, any of these areas, maybe even something physical. So think about what areas of need we've talked about through the program and enter those areas that you think you really need to mention possibly to an employer if they ask about any areas of need. Number 2, are you in a special education program? Which one and why? So I have written here, I am in the Project Search program because we're trying to find a job, because I'm able to work in a hotel instead of going to the high school, because my goal is to get a job one day. Number 3, how do you feel about this program? Is it helpful? Again, be honest. I'm not going to grade you wrong if you don't like the program, but think about that. I do or do not like this program because would be your sentence stem there. Section B, interests in leisure and activities, because again, this can relate to your job as well. What do you do in your spare time? Sports, hobbies. I know a lot of us, I know we have some wrestlers, some golfers, some people that just like to go out and take their dog for a walk. So any hobbies you have there. I know we have some video gamers as well. So list any of those hobbies there. In my spare time, so like what you would do at home. Number 2, what chores do you do at home? At home, and talk about, some things you do to help. I'm going to try to get this in here a little bit better. So just put some things you like to do to help out at home. Sorry, I'm losing my place. Do you have a friend? What do you and your friends do together? So kind of talk about those leisure activities that you like to do with your friends there. On a perfect Saturday, what would you do? So on my perfect Saturday, I would, and talk about what would you be doing there. C, family relationships. What do you like best about your family? I know we have a lot of strong families. You guys like to have cookouts, go shopping, go to church together. So some things you like to do with your family there. Number 2, who usually helps with schoolwork or any other related problems? So just pick a family member. This doesn't have to be a parent. It could be a brother or sister, or even a grandparent, aunt, uncle. Just who in your family would you go to for that help? Is there anything that causes difficulty for you at home? So is there any areas that you find at home that you need more help with, or different activities? D is functional skills. If you had a job, how would you get to work? So a lot of us, I know we have Teleride and other options, so put those options there of how we would get to work. Pull it up a little bit. Who selects your clothes in the morning? So blank picks out my clothes. Do you shop alone for your personal items? So shampoo, soap. So answer, I do or do not shop for these things. Even if a parent's going with you, as long as you're involved in that process, I would definitely count that as you do. Number 4, do you have an allowance, which is money that is given to you, or personal money from another job? So that's just a simple yes or no would be fine there. If you were alone at home and had to cook your own dinner, what would you eat and what would you do to prepare this? So I would cook. So again, this might be something that would cause you to maybe go onto another piece of paper here. But talk about like what meal you would be able to prepare on your own. If you had, sorry, I'm reading it upside down. I'm not able to do that evidently. If you had $1,000, I don't know why the comma's in the wrong place here. If you had $1,000, what would you buy? Xbox, no. Talk about what would you buy? Would you, invest in, work clothes or any other things? So $1,000 is a lot of money, so think about that. Section E, I crossed out some of these that I don't really think apply. I think this is more for students who are participating in a school program. But I did like number 4, the question there. So you can skip 1 through 3. But what do your parents want you to do after high school? So my parents want me to what? After project search. So that's the first page of that with those sentence stems. I'm going to pause this video because I don't have the sentence stems for the second page. So if you can bear with me and just go ahead and complete page 1, we'll pick up on page 2.